welcome back to 4F Beauty. When will I be YouTube famous? I still don't know. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, has she done another Hell Yeah, Well No already? No, 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 no. Although I am across this side of the screen so that I can put pictures. Oh, it's very Ursula of me, wasn't it? Right, what I'm doing today is a makeup I wish I owned film. Everyone has the makeup that got away, that they either didn't buy at the time and now looking back think, damn, I wish I'd got that. Or in my case, in most of these, it's a case of I didn't have the money at the time to get it, and by the time I had the money, it was all sold out. So, here we go with my makeup I wish I owned. Okay, enough silliness. Right, the first one, and I think this appears on most people's lists, is Kat Von D, Ma Vida Loca. Oh, it's so beautiful, and of all the stuff that she kept bringing back, it's like the Lolita eyeshadow was meant to be limited edition. It came back, and now there's going to be a Lolita palette apparently. Sneak preview for my next Hell Yeah, Well No. The Chimps lipstick was meant to be limited edition. It's now come back. Of all the things that she could bring back and hasn't, Ma Vida Loca. I mean, people, bearing in mind this palette came out Christmas 2015. People are selling it now for over £200 or £300 for a palette that originally cost $50 or 45 quid. But you can see why. There's something about, I don't know whether it's because it's laid out like a colour wheel, or what it is, but there's just something about it that's just so beautiful. I mean, Georgia Harris depotted hers because she wanted to put the cover art up on her wall, and there were some of the colours, particularly sort of like the ones in the middle, the neutrals, that she wasn't actually using, or that she didn't like, or just, So she depotted hers. There's a picture of Georgia with her depot. Absolutely love Georgia. She's a fantastic YouTuber. If you haven't followed her already, you really should. She does a lot of different depottings, and like me, she's not a neutral makeup girl, says the girl who's gone quite neutral on her eyes today, but has redeemed herself with a sugar pill lippy. There's a close-up of when she depotted it, and you can see just the whole range of colours. All too often now when you see a colourful palette, the majority of it is filled with warm tones, whereas you can see it's got a completely cool tone side and a completely warm tone side. There's an equal mix of both. I mean, if you compare that to her new one, if she had these colours in her 10-year anniversary one, I would be snapping that up. As it is, you'd have seen on my Hell Yeah, Well No that there's only really a few of the colours in the 10-year anniversary one that I want, and I think the reason that I'm torn so much with that one is because it reminds me so much of this depot from Georgia. But when you put them alongside each other, there's such a huge, vast difference between the two that. Cat. I know you're pregnant and everything now, congratulations, but please re-release this one. It's one of your first, I think it might even be the first holiday release that she did. Even if you don't bring it back as Mi Vida Loca in the colour wheel, even if you just bring it back like George's Depot in that format, I really want some Kat Von D shadows because everyone raves about them, but the only palette of hers that's really called to me is this one, and unfortunately at the time I was skinned and didn't have the money for it. Please bring it back, Kat, please. Next one is Marc Jacobs. His eye palettes that he does. If you watch Tati, over this shoulder she's got like a row of black these up behind her on display because she loves them so much. Oh, that very top one with sort of the pinks and the lilacs, and then the very, very bottom ones with the more cool tones, the purples and the blues. I would love to own one of those, but I just can't justify the price. Not for 7 shadows. I really, really want them, but I've got to be sensible. So that's another one that I would love to own. Not so much his new one that came out in the white packaging. Colours in that don't really call me, but top and bottom ones of those. Oh, yes please. Now the next one is a palette that is actually available. Hasn't come over to the UK yet, but I could order it from America or I could order it from the German site, which is the BH Cosmetics Zodiac palette. And if you're seeing a I occasionally lapse into my own language when excited. I will try and reset to English. Right, if you are noticing a similarity, well done Bomber, between this and the Mi Vida Loca, you're right. Again, I don't know if it's because it's laid out like a colour wheel that it really calls to me, but when you look at those swatches underneath, and I've seen quite a few reviews of this, and everyone, Raw Beauty Kirsty, Cassie from Thrift Thick, or Thick Thrift, or whichever one it is, I can never remember. I count a lot on their opinions because they, like Jeffree Star, tell it like it is. If they like it, they tell you. If they don't like it, they tell you. There's no bull crap with them at all. And they both loved this. I don't remember seeing Jeffrey review this one. He might have done. I'll have to have a look. But again, there's the fact that you've got the highlighter in the middle, and then you've got a circle of mattes, and then you've got a circle of shimmers. I like the fact that you've got. I wouldn't necessarily have paired those colours together, and some of the pairings colour wise don't really make a huge amount of sense. Like Aries has got that beautiful blue shimmer, but Aries is a fire sign, so why have you given it blue instead of like an orange or red or yellow? So that confused me. Taurus is beautiful deep purple like this in the matte. I'm happy about that one. And then sort of like a pinky champagne-y colour for the corresponding shimmer. So as that's my star sign, I guess I can live with that. But yeah, so I really want that. It's just, will you hurry up and release it in the UK, please? NARS, the Man Ray collection they did. Again, when this came out, I just didn't have the money to buy it, but that eyeshadow palette, Love Game eyeshadow palette. I mean, just look at the beautiful artwork on the front for a start. And then you open it up and it's got these lovely, deep, jewel tones, and by jewel tones I mean sapphires, emeralds, jewels, not Jewel, not Dual. I'm aware that with my little bit Welsh, little bit Yorkshire, little bit Southern England accent, it can sound a little bit confusing, so I'm specifying jewels as in, sapphires, emeralds, rubies, etc. That's just, I'm wittering because I love that so much and I really, really wish I owned it. That came out sort of November 2017, so yeah, again, missed out. Another thing from the same Man Ray collection was the Love Triangle set, which was a blusher and a lipstick in a triangular box, basically, in shades Impassioned and Anna. I really liked those. Those colours are beautiful. And again, I've not got any NARS lipsticks. I've heard they're the bomb. Would love to try them. Same for the blushes. I refuse to get the Orgasm blush because everyone's got that one. But yeah, that's another part of the Man Ray collection that I wish I owned, but sadly I don't. So sad. This is the Becca Light Waves highlighter palette, which was a US exclusive, but I have heard, fingers crossed, it's coming over to the UK. It was meant to be UK exclusive, but you know what Becca are like, they say it's exclusive and then 6 months later they bring it back in a different format or a different palette. So fingers crossed I'm going to actually be able to get a hold of that, because I want to try some more Becca highlighters. I've got a little mini Becca Opal, which in the little mini flying saucer ones, which I love, but I want to try this, so I'm really, really, really hoping it does actually come out in the UK and I can get my hands on it. Because when I looked on Becca's site, they don't deliver to the UK. Because apparently, we're not important enough. Thanks, Becca. Moving on. Oh, now you'll know what I'm like with my highlighters. The bitch likes to glow, alright? I don't care whether the glowing like a glowy thing on a glowworm's bum goes out of fashion. I'm gonna still do it. I'm gonna pack highlight on. If I live to be 100, you're still gonna think I'm a glitter ball because of the amount of highlight I'm chucking on. I don't care. I will fill my wrinkles with them if I have to. Glittery wrinkles. Ooh, there's a new thing. Anyway, talking of highlighters and things that I like. That two-faced highlighter that's shaped like a diamond. And they're all hand mixed, so no two are alike. They're all, I want to say unique, but they are all unique, because although the shape of them is the same and the box is the same, the actual composition of the way the shades are within them will be unique to each one, because they are all going to be different. I really like that. I really want that. Really, really want that. There's so much that I want, and my bank balance is just going, just no, behave yourself, no. And that's one of the things that my bank balance keeps saying no to. Because I believe we can now get that over here in Debenhams, so temptation's even greater now, because now I know I can go somewhere and actually swatch it. Oh Lord, give me strength to resist. Right, another makeup I wish I owned is a more recent one. This is the Urban Decay Christian Nian Kaleidoscope Dream eyeshadow palette. Look at those swatches. And I've seen demos of this from different beauty gurus on YouTube. and but I don't think I could ever get past it looking so goddamn cluttered and ugly and confused. The OCD part of my brain is scrambled by the fact that they're not all the same shape, and they're not all in the same direction, and even the circles are different sizes. I get that you're taking inspiration from different palettes, and the colour from that palette, and that palette was in a round one and that was in a square one. I don't care. And I also get the kaleidoscope thing. If you'd done it in a measured way so it looked like a kaleidoscope, that looks like my nephew's got his blocks on the floor, thrown them up in the air, and that's the random way they've landed on the floor, and that's the design of the thing. But oh, those swatches. I'm sorry, I get so het up with this. Door, hang on. Back. That was worth going to the door for. Makeup Obsession Pigment Boost. Fixing spray. Let's see if that's any better at boosting the colour than an ordinary fixing spray. A Makeup Obsession Contour in shade C102 Light, which I will just swatch for you on the back of my hand. Now these do come out and you can put them into your own little palettes, which is great. So that's the contour. I know this is meant to be a completely different video, but I just wanted to show you what had arrived and why I had to go to the door. And this, which I'm excited. This is much bigger than I was expecting it to be. This is the Cool Down palette. I mean, like, seriously, dude, those are some big pans for £5. So you know what I'm videoing tomorrow, don't you? I'm gonna have a play with my new makeup. Anyway, going back to what I'm meant to be talking to you about. Those swatches, though. I so want that palette. But I know it'd drive me nuts, and even if I depotted it, it would drive me crackers. So I want it, but I don't want it. If that makes any sense at all to you, I hope it does. Next one. Now, Violet Voss's palettes all look pretty damn similar, let's be honest. But then she released this one, which is the hashtag palette. And if you ignore that top row of warm neutrals, which we've got in how many palettes now, folks, and just look at the next. Actually, I'd be happy just to have row 2 and 4, please. The yellows and golds and those purples at the bottom. You all know what I'm like about purples, but can I justify buying a palette that expensive just because I like half of the shadows in it? This is one of those, I wish I was a birdie guru so that she'd have sent me this to try, because then I wouldn't have that quandary of I really want to try 2 of the rows, but I can't justify spending that amount on a palette when I'm disabled and have a very fixed income, when there's only really 2 rows of it I'm interested in. So Violet, if you're listening, honey, any chance of row 2 and 4 in a smaller palette, please and thank you. That'd be great. Moving on. As you can see at the moment, or as you will have seen earlier when I flashed this at you, Sugar Pill Lippy, there are some Sugar Pill shadows that I want. Now, I love that their Pro palette is, they just, you know, they do have palettes that they've already designed, like the little Twin Stars one, for example, and they did a Edward Scissorhands one. I think it was them that did the Edward Scissorhands one. Anyway, But the majority of their site and their sales are individual pans, which is great because it means you can organise your own palette. But, oh Lord, the prices. I mean, the pans are like 10 quid each, so you look at what, there's 12 pans in there, that's 120 quid plus the palette to put them in. You look, I can't justify that. I had enough problem parting with 46 quid for the Jeffreys Blood Sugar palette. Over 100 quid for 12 shadows, even though they're big shadows. I can't justify that. But if I could, or if Sugar Pill went, hey, we're picking some smaller beauty channels and we're going to let them choose 12 colours and we're going to send it to them for their own palette for them to review. If they do, that's the colours that I'd choose. Yes, I know I've got some warm colours in there. I've got a yellow and an orange. But then I'm into my pink and my red and a blue and a green and my purples and then a brown and a black just to smoke things up again. So, a bit of a basic biatch palette really, but I would love to own that Sugar Pill palette. But it's not to be. Physicians Formula. Apparently they sell in Ireland, but not here in the UK. Why? People who know me know that anything that smells like coconut or pineapple and I want it. And they do this bronzer, butter bronzer with Muramura butter in it. And they do a light one. And it smells like coconut. And yes, I know I've already got enough bronzers to last me, but I really like bronzers. So I like to have a selection of bronzers. I've got my Barry M one, which is my fallback, which doesn't smell like anything at all. And then I've got my Bourjois one, which looked like and smells like chocolate. And my current favourite is my Winky Lux one, the coffee bronzer. It's called Latte, which doesn't smell like a latte, it smells like freshly roasted and ground coffee beans. It's that beautiful, sharp, almost citrusy smell. But everyone in America raves about this particular bronzer, and I want to try it, especially since they're now doing a palette with a mini bronzer, a mini blush, and 2 highlighters. Well, I say mini, they're probably going to be about this size. And a little bottle of the perfume that smells like coconut. Hello. For I think 12 quid in Walmart or 15 quid on Physicians Formula website. Why can't we get this in the UK? Why haven't Beauty Bay picked this up? Why hasn't Cult Beauty picked this up? Why hasn't Feel Unique picked this up? I really, really, really want to try the butter bronzer, and I'm sounding like a 2-year-old who's stamping my feet, but that's how I feel. Because, you know, why should we be denied good makeup at a sensible price? Why is it only the expensive stuff that comes over here? Moving on. Coloured Rain palette. The Queen of Hearts. No, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. But that is also 45 quid. For 12 eyeshadows. I know when you take that down to the individual eyeshadow, it's what? Just under 4 quid a pan. But I cannot bring myself to spend 45 quid on 12 ordinary sized shadows when your Jeffrey sized ones were less than that. And this one, where the pans still look bigger than that. 46 quid. Now I bought at spending 46 quid for 18 eyeshadows. can't bring myself to spend 45 for 12 teeny weeny MAC sized eyeshadows, no matter how good the formula is. But I still wish I owned it. MAC Patrick Star Powder. Morning that launched in the UK, I was there, 9 o'clock the minute it went live. I put one of those into my cart. I clicked continue shopping. I chose the Mama Star lipstick, put that in my cart, clicked checkout. It's now 3 minutes past 9. Sorry, we've had to remove the powder from your basket because it's sold out. How many did you have? 10? That infuriated me because that powder just looks stunning. Stunning. So that really, really, really annoyed me. And the final thing on makeup that I wished I owned is the Bite Beauty Taurus lipstick. Now, I have wanted to try the Taurus lipstick since I first saw it, which was, I think, the end of March. They sneak peeked it and said, this is the colour that we're doing for Taurus. Don't get me wrong, I've got a lot of lipsticks that colour. It is one of my, that for me is my favourite nude. But I've been promising myself that I'm going to treat myself to a Bite lipstick at some point. And I thought, you know what, it's Taurus, it's my star sign, it's a limited edition, it's my perfect colour, I want to get it. So they said it was launching at the end of April. And obviously I was quite busy around about my birthday, so I started searching for it about the 2nd or 3rd of May. Sold out everywhere, didn't even come to the UK. I get limited edition, and I get that for some companies limited edition really does mean limited edition, as in once it's sold out that's it, we're not bringing it back. But surely if the demand is there, you could bring it back at least once, or make sure you've got enough to cater for the demand. Bite Beauty know how popular their lipsticks are. They know how many they would have sold for, you know, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, and no, I think they started off with yeah. Did they start off with Capricorn? I think they did start with Capricorn, Aries, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, and then they got to Taurus. And now, of course, they're going to be doing Gemini. But it's so frustrating that that's the one Bite lipstick that I really wanted to try. You can't get it in the UK, and like literally 2 or 3 days after it had launched in America, it was sold out everywhere. And some people are now selling it for ridiculously inflated prices on things like eBay and Depop. So I refuse to do that, because that to me, someone has gone on, bought 10 of them, to hold them, to get them to sell out, and then to sell it on at ridiculous prices. So I like it, but I don't like it enough to pay 70 quid for a blooming lipstick, which is what one person was asking for it. So that is my makeup I wish I owned. Some of it I'm never going to be able to get, like the Movida Loca, unless she brings it back, like the Bite Taurus lipstick, like the Patrick Star powder. Some of it I probably could still get. You know, the Zodiac palette, once that comes over to the UK, you know I want that. If that Becca highlighter palette is coming to the UK, you know I'm going to want that too. But that's my moments when it comes to makeup. So tell me in the comments, what are the top 3 makeup items that you wish you had that you've missed out on? Let me know in the comments section. Well, hopefully you found this interesting and perhaps a little bit funny, with me ranting my way through it and getting all excited about swatches and things that I just things I'm never going to be able to own. Oh. If you did enjoy it, hit that like button, comment, subscribe. If you do subscribe, hit that bell, and then you'll get told every time I upload another one of these videos. If you really like it, perhaps you could even consider sharing it, because who knows, if you enjoyed this, there's a chance your friends might too. Hope the rest of your day is fabulous. Bye for now.